So most people post-operatively will just be put on nasal prongs, and you'll run their O2 flow rate for this anywhere from 1 to 4 liters per minute. If you run above 4 liters per minute, it's really uncomfortable and the patient's nose will dry out, and you don't actually get much additional benefit for that. So the max FiO2 that you can give to someone with nasal prongs is about 37. So this is not quite doubling what would be given to the patient just with room air. Each liter per minute that you give by nasal prongs increases your FiO2 by about 4%. So room air being 21%. Your first liter per minute that you give will be an additional 4%, and so on. But maxing out at about 4 liters per minute at 37%. The simple mask, which is this one here that basically just has an O2 attachment on it and a strap to go around the patient's head, will deliver a max FiO2 of 60%. So a little better than nasal prongs here. And you have to set your flow rate to 6 to 8 liters per minute here. The reason you do that is otherwise, technically, the patient could breathe out and then start rebreathing their own exhaled gas. So by setting the flows to 6 to 8 liters per minute, we're always washing out this gas and making sure that it's fresh air in this vicinity. The O2 will come through and then be delivered to the patient. The issue is you'll also entrain air through the sides of the mask here. This does not form a tight seal on the patient's face at all. So at best, you'll get 60% O2 from this. This non-rebreather mask is a little bit better. You'll need higher flows for this. So start with 15. You could potentially get away with a little less than that. And this will give you 60 to 80% FiO2. That's because you will attach your oxygen here, and then the O2 will fill this reservoir bag, and you have to help this fill initially because in the package they come basically stuck shut. So just help this bag fill up with oxygen, and then when the patient breathes, they'll take the oxygen from this reservoir bag and then still entrain a little bit of air, but end up with relatively higher percent of inspired oxygen. This Ambu bag is nice because it can be used for spontaneous respirations delivering high oxygen percentage or for positive pressure ventilation. So you'll set your O2 flow for this to 15 liters per minute, and you can potentially deliver close to 100% FiO2 with this. Your oxygen hose will connect near the back of this device, and it also has a reservoir bag that fills up. And for the spontaneously breathing patient, they'll just take a breath in, and as long as you have a good seal with this mask, and the head of this is actually replaceable, so you can put a good mask on this that fits the patient properly, you could potentially deliver 100% oxygen. There's a one-way valve built into here, which will make sure that air only flows in this one direction. So when the patient breathes out, you will not be filling this bag up again. Instead, it will go out. So you're not going to be rebreathing any air with this too, which is nice. You can use this for positive pressure ventilation as well. So if you need to assist the patient with their breath, just squeeze the bag, and then it will suck the oxygen from this reservoir bag and get delivered to the patient. Actually, I guess what happens is you would squeeze this bag in, and then when it re-expands, it would draw oxygen in from this reservoir bag. But either way, this chamber that you squeeze will be full of oxygen as long as you have this reservoir bag attached and high flows. If you're in a pinch and you get your hands on one of these, but it does not have this reservoir bag on it, that's okay. Just run your oxygen flows at 15 liters per minute to try to make sure that you're always filling this chamber up with oxygen. Then you'll still get pretty close to 100% oxygen delivery. Other things that could be useful for the patient to optimize their oxygen delivery would be a CPAP if they have a device at home for their sleep apnea, or high flow nasal cannulas or OptiFlow, which are a type of nasal prongs that form a tight seal and then will be delivered with humidified air, so you can give a higher FiO2 with those, or BiPAP. Anyways, hopefully this gives you an idea of how you can escalate the oxygen delivery to the patient based on what your different maximum FiO2s are with these tools.